Hey y'all, I am finally getting around to planting some of these native plants that I've purchased from nurseries that I've had sitting around in pots. And the first one that's going to get planted is a Darrow's blueberry. I bought this from the Nectary, yay! I already have one, and they're really cool because they stay small. And the color of their leaves is like light, and then they get a little purpley kind of hue to it, so it adds some contrast and variation in your garden. Now my one that I have, I still haven't gotten any blueberries from, but that's okay because it's cute, right? And I'm gonna plant the new one right beside it. So here it is. Now these flowers are from a salvia that's just leaning over there, but you can see the color variation on the leaves, and I just think they're pretty as a greenery plant, not to mention the fact that it may make blueberries one day. Oh, look who's here to help out. So there's my other Darrow's blueberry, and then there's a space that is just like waiting perfectly for another one. So that is right where I'm gonna pot or plant. That one is already potted. I'm gonna plant it. And yes, Darrow's blueberry is a Florida native, and Florida does have a pretty large blueberry industry. Everybody thinks of citrus, but we're big for blueberries too, so yay! All right, so I've got the Darrow's blueberry in the ground. I've got my sprinkler system rigged and working to water it in. And it just fits in perfectly there. It'll fill up and be like the bigger one beside it. And see how pretty the contrast is right behind the pentas of just that lighter green leaf with the little purpley coloration. I just like a little variety. So now I'm looking at this area behind me, and I'm just doing a little reconfiguring to get a little bit more space in that area because I have some plants that I want to put in there. So before, this walkway went to either side of the bench, but I don't go on that side. I just cut through here. So why not get an extra like foot and a half length width of garden space in there? So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know that I like geometrically how it's shaped around the bench. I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out. Meanwhile, more garden space. That's the best. This is called the clustered bush mint, and you can see it's getting little blooms on it. It gets really pretty flowers. So this little plant is a Florida native. We got it at the UFIFAS native plant sale, and it likes to be on the edge of a swamp. So I'm gonna try planting it in and amongst my swamp milkweed in one of my wetland garden areas and see how it does. Now the spot I have picked out for it is gonna be crammed in. And if it's not happy there, well, I'll move it. You know how I do that. I'm so excited to see these blooms, and I will definitely show them to you. Again, it's the clustered bush mint. It probably wants to be a bush and not crammed in a little space. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And this little one is a narrow leaf sunflower, and it also likes a swampy condition. So I'm going to go ahead and plant it over in my wetlands garden also. And this little plant is called an elephant's foot. And it likes full sun, partial shade, so it's not going in the wetlands garden, but it's another one that I picked up at the native plant sale. And it's supposed to get pretty flowers on it, bloom spring into fall. And its flowers are attractors for butterflies and native bees. So, I mean, that's fabulous. So it's going to go right here in my penta garden. See that little circle where there's nothing? It's going to squeeze in there. It only gets like 1 to 2 feet tall, so it doesn't need a lot of space. Yeah, there's a queen butterfly in my garden right now. I don't know if you can see it. It's fluttering around down there. But I have to wonder if it's not one of mine, because it's real easy if you're crawling like a caterpillar to get out under the edge of the enclosure, and I haven't seen any sign of mine. So maybe it'll land and I can show you. Oh. Well, it just flew out of the garden, so who knows, maybe it'll be back. Y'all ever buy a plant and you have it sit around for a while, and then you look it up and, you know, see where it likes to grow, and then you wonder, what was I thinking about doing with that? So one of the plants I got is a climbing aster, but it likes to climb. It's like a vine, but it also likes a wetland area. I wonder what I was thinking about. So I'm going to show it to you in a minute, but I'm going to leave it in the pot for now until I can decide what to do with it. Maybe I'll put it in a pot with a trellis behind it and keep it wet. I think one of the reasons why I got it is because it is a fall, early winter bloomer, so it provides nectar sources for bees and butterflies, where like the summer bloomers have like gone out, because, you know, flowers go out. That's the terminology that you want to use. I have to get another one of those big square pots. I think that is what I'll do, which means I'll just have to go to a garden center. So there's my elephant's foot. Sorry about the hose, I'm hand watering. I'm excited to see what it looks like when it grows up. And right here is my bush mint. Right in there, there's all coming up around it is my swamp milkweed, which you can't quite see right now, but it is growing up in there, and some salvias. And gosh, all these plants that have I think they're called their basil leaves, right? They're all different, but they look a lot alike. Like I'm standing here, like which one is the sunflower? But it's that one right there. So it's right here in the middle of the wetland garden. And that'll have some pretty yellow blooms in and amongst all the other cool colors that will be showing up in here as time goes. You can see my sleepy hibiscus is about to bloom again. And look, y'all, we moved my bird bath into this garden. Isn't it pretty in there? I love it there. It was getting overgrown by my split leaf. It used to be right there, and all the split leaf leaves would grow over it. And then I put one of my hanging basket holders, shepherd's hooks, and my flame vine plants are hanging there. This one here I thought wasn't going to make it, but look, it's got like one side of it that's all coming back. The other side of it's not so happy. I'm going to go in and trim that up, but I'm glad to see that it's coming back. And then this one's been sitting out in the sun, and it's got some kind of spotty spottiness to it, you know, the spottiness thing. So I'm going to trim that all up too, but they should be pretty happy out here because they get some good sun, but not too much where they'll be tormented. And honestly, I really like the look of that planter right there. And then the bird bath right here, which I'm gonna fill up with my hose. Hey y'all, it's Wednesday night, and the last 2 nights I've come home, it has just been raining, which is fabulous, but I haven't got to explore my garden. So this is the first night I'm able to go explore in, well, 2 days. I mean, I was out a little bit last night, but it was late. So let's go see what's going on out there. Well, it looks like I've got a swallowtail egg. Actually, now that I look around, I see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Woohoo! All right. Oh, there's another one. 5 Eastern black swallowtail eggs. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to go get my clippers and bring these guys in. I haven't even made it that far into my garden, and I've already found something fabulous. Y'all, that was fun. I'm going to go check on my sassafras tree. See, I know I brought in 4 eggs the other night. None of them have hatched yet. Well, maybe one has, but they should be hatching any time now. I'm just glancing over, see if anything pops out at me. I can usually spot those eggs pretty quickly, but I don't see anything right now. So let's go venture down to the other end of the garden. So y'all know how I stretched out this garden a little bit. I still haven't put anything in it. And y'all look at those dark clouds. Like, we might even be getting some more rain tonight, which is lovely. I mean, my garden, I am sure, is thrilled to be receiving all of this rainfall. There's a monarch in the enclosure. See it in the back corner? I'm not going in because I don't want to get it all excited because it's late. It's like 7:30. So I think I'll just leave it in there and release it tomorrow. There's plenty of nectar in there for it. I don't know if you can see it, but there is another monarch hanging in that corner also. So 2. Fabulous. All right, so I am going to have to open the enclosure because look at this little dude out here on my balloon milkweed. So I'm going to move him inside where he can be nice and safe, at least from wasps. Look at his little curly antenna. Oh my goodness, y'all, the one in this corner is the queen, one of my queens. And here's a gorgeous monarch. Let's see who you are. Looks like a male. And y'all look at my sweet Joe Pie weed. It is looking gorgeous. It's really growing in here. I need to get that planted in the ground. Hey y'all, it's Thursday and I just came home to these three who are ready to go. There's my queen, and then there's two monarchs and a Gulf fritillary caterpillar. He's not ready to go. All right, I'm gonna go release these guys.